Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining us again. In today's episode, we will step into the peaceful moments of LinDa's life, a simple yet strong woman who quietly rises above hardships. Through her resilience, she becomes the steady foundation that allows Quang to find his dream and rebuild his faith. This is not just an ordinary story, but a reflection of women who rise from struggles, who plant seeds of hope even in the most challenging days. If you enjoy this journey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you can continue walking with us through the next heartfelt episodes. The sun had just risen above the ridge of the mountains, its soft light spilling golden streaks across the roof of a humble home. Birds chirped their morning songs, making the air of dawn feel even fresher. LinDa opened the door, took a deep breath, and let the cool breeze carrying the scent of the fields weave through her hair. On her shoulder rested the familiar bamboo basket, and in her hand she held a small sickle. Today, the longan fruits had ripened in abundance. Each cluster hung heavy on the branches, their skins glistening with a golden sheen under the sunlight. LinDa smiled faintly, the smile of a woman who knew how to treasure the simple gifts life bestowed upon her. She stepped slowly into the orchard, her hands moving skillfully as she plucked the heavy clusters and placed them gently into her basket. Dewdrops slid off the leaves, landing cool against her shoulder. Though the work was tiring, LinDa's eyes shone with a serene calm. In every movement, one could see her quiet strength and patience, as if those very hands were weaving a sturdier future, not just for herself, but also for Quang. Amidst the sea of green, LinDa's small yet steadfast figure stood out. A portrait of a simple woman who chose labor to overcome hardship and patience to stand against the weight of fate. With her basket full of longans, LinDa tied it securely and slung it over her shoulder. The path from the orchard to the village market was familiar, yet that morning it seemed more beautiful. Sunlight filtered through the bamboo groves, scattering golden patches across the ground. The sound of her footsteps blended with the soft clatter of the basket, merging into the lively rhythm of dawn. The market soon came into view, simple, with bamboo stalls and a few makeshift tarps for shade. Villagers had already gathered, their voices calling, bargaining, and laughing, painting a vivid portrait of daily life. LinDa chose a small corner and neatly arranged the golden clusters of longans on a green banana leaf. The fruits, sweet and glistening, looked inviting in her careful display, drawing passers-by to stop. An elderly woman paused, cradling a cluster in her hands before smiling. "These longans are so sweet, child. I bet Quang must love them too, doesn't he?" LinDa froze for a moment. Such a simple, casual remark, but it struck her heart. Her eyes shimmered, a mix of longing and tenderness. She nodded softly and whispered, "Yes, he always has." One by one, customers came to buy. Laughter, chatter, and the clink of coins filled the air. On LinDa's face, the weariness seemed to fade, replaced by a gentle calm. She knew that with every cluster of fruit she sold, she was not only earning a few coins, but also holding on to faith, nurturing the hope that kept her waiting for the day Quang would rise again from the storm. Amidst the noise of the market, LinDa's humble figure by her stall shone quietly. A small woman, yet silently carrying the strength to be the foundation of a greater dream. When the last clusters of longans had been sold, LinDa gathered the small coins into her cloth pouch. It wasn't much, but enough to warm her heart. On her way back, her steps slowed before a modest clothing stall by the roadside. A simple milk-white shirt hung neatly on a rack. The fabric was not expensive, yet it looked clean and unpretentious. LinDa reached out to touch it, and a quiet thought stirred within her. Quang has endured so much already. Perhaps he deserves something fresh, something to help him feel more confident as he walks the path toward his dreams again. Without hesitation, she handed the money to the shopkeeper and carefully folded the shirt as if it were a treasured gift. In LinDa's eyes, this was not just clothing. It was a silent message of encouragement. a fragment of faith she wished to place in Quang's hands. When LinDa returned to Quang's grandmother's home after a long day, she greeted him with her gentle smile. She held out the shirt and spoke softly, her voice warm and tender. "I have a little gift for you. I hope you'll feel more comfortable wearing it." Quang froze for a moment, then his eyes lit up. He took the shirt, his hand brushing over each seam as if he were touching LinDa's very heart. A rare smile bloomed on his weathered face, melting away the fatigue of the day. "Thank you, LinDa," he whispered, his lips trembling before parting into a radiant smile. "LinDa, I truly didn't expect this." His voice quivered, and his hand tightened around the gift, as though afraid this fragile happiness might slip away. In his eyes shimmered a joy that went beyond a new shirt. It was the unmistakable warmth of LinDa's quiet love and care. LinDa gently placed her hand on his shoulder, her gaze soft yet resolute, and spoke with tender conviction. "Quang, I know how hard you've tried these past days. Don't carry the weight of everything on your shoulders. Things will get better, I promise. I love you, and I need you." In that moment, Quang's heart was renewed with strength. He no longer felt alone. Beside him was a woman who silently believed in him. No need for grand words. Late in the afternoon, the golden sunlight poured across the yard, casting long, quiet shadows. LinDa gathered her empty basket, then turned to Quang's mother with a gentle smile. "Please allow me to head home now. There are still some things waiting for me." Quang's mother held her hand warmly, her eyes filled with affection. "Take care on your way, child. Come visit whenever you can. This home will always welcome you." LinDa nodded softly, her heart warmed. Quang wheeled out his bicycle and offered, "I'll take you home. I wouldn't feel at ease letting you go alone." The village road was cool in the evening breeze, the wheels rolling steadily as their shadows stretched long across the ground. When they reached her familiar gate, LinDa stepped down, whispering her thanks. In their eyes lingered a trace of unspoken longing. "I have some work to take care of," Quang said quietly, his voice unhurried. LinDa smiled and nodded. "Go ahead and handle it. I believe you'll do well." He looked at her one last time, a tender smile softening his lips, before turning his bicycle toward the long road ahead. His figure slowly faded into the distance, leaving LinDa standing at her gate, her heart still glowing with faith and quiet peace. As evening descended, the last rays of sunlight lingered gently on the distant ridge. LinDa rolled up her sleeves, took up her machete, and stepped into the bamboo grove behind the garden. Each steady, deliberate strike echoed through the air, the sound of falling bamboo blending with the evening breeze, forming a rustic melody of the countryside. She dragged the fresh stalks back into the yard, laying them neatly in a row before splitting and binding them together. Her calloused hands moved swiftly, unafraid of the heavy labor. Beads of sweat glistened on her brow, yet her eyes shone with patience and quiet resolve. The bamboo fence slowly took shape, plain yet strong. Gazing at her work, LinDa let out a gentle sigh before breaking into a serene smile. To her, each stalk she set upright was more than just a shield for her small garden. It was a reminder that though life may be full of hardships, with persistence, one can build a wall strong enough to protect the things they hold dear. In the glow of the crimson sunset, LinDa's figure beside the newly built fence became a striking image of endurance. An ordinary woman, silent yet steadfast, carrying within her the strength to keep the fire of home alive while waiting for the day Quang would return, stronger than before. The day came to a close with the image of LinDa resting by the newly built bamboo fence. Above her, the glow of sunset slowly gave way to the first stars, carrying with them a rare moment of peace after so many turbulent days. She smiled softly, whispering in her heart, "As long as there is faith, tomorrow will surely be better." Far away, Quang was still struggling with his unfinished work and fragile dreams. Yet he was not alone, for behind him stood LinDa, a quiet but steadfast presence, offering him love and faith to keep moving forward. And so, today's story comes to an end. But their journey is far from over, with many trials still to face and hopes yet to blossom. If this story has touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe to walk with us through the next episodes, where love, resilience, and hope will continue to shine.
Chúng ta vừa cùng nhau đi qua một hành trình nhỏ nhưng lại chất chứa thật nhiều cảm xúc, từ những nỗi buồn, những giọt nước mắt và đến cả những khoảnh khắc bình yên, giản dị vô cùng quý giá. Cảm ơn bạn đã đồng hành và lắng nghe đến tận những giây phút cuối cùng. Mỗi một lượt xem, mỗi một ánh mắt dừng lại, mỗi một trái tim cùng đồng cảm đều là nguồn động lực để cho những câu chuyện như thế này được tiếp tục viết nên. Nếu cuộc sống còn bộn bề, đôi khi chỉ cần những giây phút lắng lại, ta sẽ nhận ra rằng niềm tin, lòng nhân ái và sự sẻ chia luôn có sức mạnh chữa lành kỳ diệu. Và cũng chính nhờ có bạn người không ngại dành thời gian quý giá để đồng hành, mà hành trình của nhân vật trong câu chuyện này trở nên trọn vẹn hơn, ấm áp hơn. Dù phía trước vẫn còn nhiều chông gai, nhưng chỉ cần trái tim con người biết hướng về nhau thì bóng tối nào cũng sẽ được soi sáng bởi một tia hy vọng. Xin gửi đến bạn lời cảm ơn chân thành nhất. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn trong các tập tiếp theo, nơi câu chuyện còn tiếp tục mở ra và những bước chân kiên cường, những mơ ước lặng lẽ và niềm tin chưa bao giờ tắt. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Chúc các bạn luôn bình an.